Yo, what up, street togs, street gods, sun toggity block dogs. All right, okay, back in the house. All right, so lots of thoughts. The first thing is just get one of these like cheap ass $10 Amazon Prime one day sun hats with the back visor. I'm like, at first I was like, I refuse to buy these because I'm like, I don't want to look like an old Asian grandma lady, but I'm like, F it, I'm super jacked, I can do whatever I want. And so now the thought is only losers wear baseball caps, real men wear sun hats, don't be a fool. Even Cindy was like, smart people wear sun hats. I'm like, it's true, right? Yeah, so maximum time in the sun, outside walking, blogging and vlogging, and watch yourself. 60-pound weight vest. I'm starting a trend. Okay, but anyways, so some thoughts. Okay, so some funny tips. I saw one of these like Uber drive off food delivery dudes like parked at the Culver steps, and he had like these stickers on the back and the side. It's like protected by 9mm, like gun stickers, and it's like, if you don't shoot I will, or you know, back off. And apparently he said it worked, and he's like, I don't even own a gun. He's like, it's like a Turkish immigrant dude, super friendly. And he's like, I'm like, teşekkürler. He's like, how you know? He's like, you love Rocky? I love Rocky, right? Shout out to Charlie Kirk and his Katil Var book, very good. Yeah, so the critical thing here to consider is, like, what are you gonna do with people trying to like pistol whoop you into submission, right? Like, okay, so the reason why I think a bunch of these guys who own guns, you guys are a bunch of P $, $, right? Because like, okay, there's an asymmetry here, right? And this is also where, you know, driving is for cowards. Is that like any skinny fat loser, you know, 4'2" man driving a big Range Rover could like honk at you for behind, right? And like, just because I drive a Prius trying to punk me, I'm like, I'm the unpunkable Prius, right? And so simple things you could do, right? So if someone's honking at you from behind, it's like, you did not go for half a second. Even worse, right? Like I was in Century City about to turn right, and there's a big ass, there's like 2 or 3 of them, like, no right turn on red. And some like loser, you know, in his like old ass, outdated 2-door coupe Mercedes, right? And I saw the punk when he was pulling out, right? Like, he's like honking at me for not turning right on red, and I'm like sticking my hand out, pointing at the sun. I'm like, and then this is what I learned from my friend Jim, right? Stick your hand out the window, right? Calm down. And then people honk at you and like throw your food. I'm like, you cowards! You wouldn't do that to me if you saw me in the flesh, because I'm so much bigger, darker, handsomer, and more muscular than you, right? And then yeah, so the best way to combat when people having road rage or get angry is like, don't be a PU $, yen sign, right? Don't be a coward. Don't be a sissy. Don't let yourself being pistol whipped around. Like, it's like, think about the movie 300, the Spartans, right? Would King Leonidas take it up the ass like a ventriloquist to quote Ye? No, right? So yeah, you just stand your ground and refuse to let yourself get pistol whipped, right? And also when people do bad driving behavior, assuming you're not with your wife, right? Just high beam them twice. Be like, hey, what you're doing is not right. Like, you could cut me off in traffic, but at least do it with your turn signal. If people don't do it with the turn signal, high beam them twice, pretend like you CHP, because that is bad manners. And I think the reason why a lot of people kind of get the sense of like, you know, nihilism is like learned helplessness, is that they're like, oh, there's like 10 quadrillion people who live in LA. My one behavior is not going to make a change. But it does, guys, it does. First, stop honking, not good manners. And secondly, when people's like trying to troll you, yeah, you just like refuse to do it, right? Like, first start off by being a good guy, Don't honk. You should only ever honk at people if it's like a life or death situation. That's the point of a honk. Like if some nice grandma doesn't drive within half a second, you don't beep at them from behind to hurry up, right? So that's bad behavior. And the second thing is people try and punk you, right? They're smoking in public, these assholes, right? You just speak up, say something, right? Like, I think the problem in America is that like you're told to just like play defensive, you know, don't make other people angry because they might have a gun and pop you. And I'm like, bro, like if I was in a situation in which, you know, Seneca was with me, maybe older, and see somebody about a pistol with me into submission, right? Or see his dad stand up like a real man. Like, stand up like a real man, right? Like, you know, don't buy a gun. Guns are for pussies. Just buy a 60-pound weight vest or a bulletproof vest you skirt, right? And yeah, just, you know, like, wasn't Kanye on tour wearing a bulletproof vest? Anyways, yeah, don't, like, I think ethically, right? Put on armor, right? But don't be a coward with a gun, right? Because once again, you 400-pound morbidly obese man and you're 5 foot tall, and then they have a gun, obviously they could kill you, right? And your physical power doesn't really make a difference. But this is where ethics is critical, because once again, you want to set a good example, right? Like, I think, you know, growing up Catholic, Christian, right? Told to turn the other cheek. Probably the worst advice of all time. I almost wish that like I just like stood up for myself and done, yeah, held my ground, and then maybe better to get into a fist fight than just take it up the ass, right? So I mean, that's one thing I'm gonna teach to Seneca, is that like, first, treat everybody with kindness, respect, don't incite no violence. But if somebody tries to punk you, hey, you look good without the hat, man. But if somebody tries to punk you, if someone tries to F with you, then you F with them back, right? And yeah, my only goal with Seneca, don't let nobody punk you or bully you. If somebody tries to bully you, you bully them back. Simple ethics. And it's different for boys and girls and men and women, right? Just don't be a fool, use your gut, refuse to be punked around.